Once upon a time, in the kingdom of snowy mountains and blooming forests, a queen sat sewing by a window framed in black ebony. She pricked her finger, and 3 drops of blood fell onto the pure white snow. Seeing this, she whispered a wish. "Oh, how I wish for a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony." Her wish came true. A beautiful baby girl was born, and she was named Snow White. But joy turned to sorrow as the queen fell ill and passed away, leaving the king heartbroken. Years later, the king remarried. The new queen was stunningly beautiful but cruel, selfish, and consumed by envy. She possessed a magical mirror and would ask it every day, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always replied, "You, my queen, are the fairest of all." But as Snow White blossomed into a young woman, her beauty and kindness captured the hearts of everyone in the kingdom. One morning, the queen asked her mirror the usual question, but this time, its answer was different. "Snow White is the fairest of them all." Those words struck the queen's heart like a dagger. Consumed by jealousy, she summoned a huntsman. "Take Snow White deep into the forest," she commanded, "and bring me back her heart as proof of her death." The huntsman led Snow White into the dark woods. But as he raised his blade, her innocent eyes filled his with tears. "Forgive me, princess," he stammered. "Run, run and never return. The queen wants you dead." Terrified, Snow White fled deeper and deeper into the forest. Trees twisted into menacing shapes, and shadows danced around her until she collapsed from exhaustion. At last, she stumbled upon a tiny cottage tucked away among the pines. Inside, everything was small and surprisingly messy. To calm her racing heart, Snow White began to clean. She tidied up the dusty rooms, cooked a small meal, and finally drifted off to sleep across 7 little beds. That evening, the cottage owners returned. They were 7 dwarfs, dark, grumpy, happy, sleepy, sneezy, bashful, and dopey, who worked all day mining in the mountains. They were shocked to find a girl asleep in their home, but when Snow White woke and shared her story, they were moved. "Stay with us," they offered. "We'll protect you," Snow White happily agreed, bringing warmth and joy to their small home. But back at the castle, the evil queen consulted her mirror. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror's reply sent her into a rage. Snow White, living with the dwarfs in the forest, the queen's fury knew no bounds. Using dark magic, she disguised herself as an old peddler woman, her basket filled with apples, one of which was laced with a poison that induced a death-like sleep. The next morning, she arrived at the dwarf's cottage. Snow White, kind and trusting, opened the door. The old woman smiled and offered a shiny red apple. "A gift, my dear," she coaxed. Snow White hesitated, remembering the dwarf's warnings, but the apple looked so perfect, so harmless. She took one bite. Her eyes fluttered, the apple dropped from her hand, and she collapsed, silent and still. The queen cackled, her wicked plan complete. When the dwarfs returned, they found Snow White lifeless. Heartbroken, they cried through the night. She looked too beautiful, too peaceful to be buried. So they built a glass coffin and placed it on a hill where flowers bloomed all year, with one dwarf always keeping watch. One spring day, a prince traveling through the forest saw the beautiful girl in the glass coffin. Her beauty captivated him. He begged the dwarfs to let him take her to his palace, where he could honor her forever. Reluctantly, they agreed. But as the prince's servants lifted the coffin, it tilted. The small piece of poisoned apple was dislodged from Snow White's throat. She gasped, her chest rose, and her eyes opened. She was alive! The prince, overjoyed, took her hand. "You're safe now," he said. "Come with me and be my queen." Snow White smiled, tears of happiness in her eyes, and agreed. The dwarfs cheered, hugging her goodbye before she left with the prince. Back in her castle, the evil queen asked her mirror one last time who was the fairest. The mirror's answer sealed her fate. Snow White, now a queen, is the fairest of them all. And so, the fairest of them all, whose kindness never wavered, found her happily ever after, ruling with a heart full of grace.